So let me start here. Get my little sign up. All right. So unlike last time, a lot of these people probably don't know that I'm doing this, but it's fine. I think they make money off their services. So this person, Kim Manfrey, we went to school with her. I knew her through different friends. She is a photographer based out of Southern New York. Basically not upstate New York, which to the outsider's perspective is anything above Manhattan. You'd be wrong. Anyways. She's based out of Southern New York. She does a lot of different photography. She does engagement photography. She does headshots. She does food photography. I'm going to try to share my screen. Might all blow up in my face. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. Can I just show like one? Oh, I think I can. Okay. Podcast friends. Because we love our friends. Can you see my screen? Okay. All right. So this is a sample of her photography taken from her Instagram. And I love her food photography. It makes everything look so delicious, and it looks like summer all the time. And I'm like, I wish. But she's really good at what she does. This is just a sampler from her Instagram. I will give you guys the link if you can't see it right now. But I think she's just really creative, and it's really awesome to see people that you know, like, doing bullshit that you never know how to do. But yeah, here's a little sampler of her stuff, and we're gonna find out how to not share screens now. If I go over here, oh hey, I see what my screen, oh, that works out perfectly. Okay. I'm going to stop the share now. Oh, great. Okay, so I'm back, right? You can see me?
I can see you, but there's
Can you hear me?
the window that says this stream has ended. That won't go away. Oh, wait.
Oh, no. Oh.
Full stream. There we go. Now we're normal.
Okay, so that's a new thing that I'm doing, and I don't really know if I'm doing it right.
Sharing screens, new technology.
I was at work, and they were like, well, you know, you can just share one window if you want. And I was like, I don't trust that. I don't believe it. But, so, my name is Kim Manfrey. I apologize if I'm saying that wrong. I've known you for so many years. Not super personally, but still, I'll feel bad one way or the other. This is her Instagram. It is instagram.com/Kim, Kim, Manfrey, MANFRE photo. And as far as I can remember, I don't know if this is still going on, but she was originally doing a promo for a while where you could get a free 1-hour photo shoot with proof of a $30 or more donation to a Black Lives Matter Foundation fund, or an LGBTQ plus organization. I'm not sure if she's still doing it, but I know that her rates are really good and almost potentially too good for how good her work is. But she's really awesome. She's super sweet and super goddamn talented. So if you want to check out her stuff, this is her Instagram up here, Kim Manfrey Photo. And if you want to email her, if you're like, I'm near that area, this is her email, kimmanfreyphoto@gmail.com. Again, all of this will be available on the Twitter. Check her out. So, this whole promo podcast is basically all photography. Next month, it's probably going to be bands. So, yeah, check her out. She's awesome.
And for those unaware, we have shifted the promo episodes of the podcast from end of the month to now the beginning of the month.
Which, when there's only like 2 days between end of month podcasts and first of month podcasts, we didn't shift it too far.
And also, if you're just tuning in, stick around to the end of the podcast where we put in our predictions for NXT TakeOver 31 this coming Sunday.
If you're just tuning in. Sorry, you don't know what the name of the podcast is right now. But yes, Kim's a very lovely girl, and I love her so much.
Well, the name of the podcast is also on the stream.
I think people look at that, Mark.
They're looking
And not
at us.
my...
Yes.
Wrong sign. My signs.
Your signs are on the same screen as the
So
name of the
helps.
podcast.
Does not help my point whatsoever. Can I talk to you about the news?
Yes.
I don't want to talk about the news, honestly. I'm not really happy with any of the news today.
Okay, so let's skip the news.
Nope. Anyways, okay. I'm biting my tongue on a couple things. I'm not going to talk about some stuff. Anyways, so NXT TakeOver. So NXT has a lot of shit going on right now. 90% of my news is currently NXT based. So NXT TakeOver could have a live crowd. I don't know if that was more so like NXT TakeOver could have a live crowd like of people, or NXT TakeOver might be in the Amway Center. I don't really know if that's what the point of that was.
You said it might have a crowd of people?
It could have a live crowd. Those were the words.
I hope
could mean the Amway Center.
I hope by live crowd that they mean the Performance Center people, or the Full
If
Sail
anything,
people.
it's going to be. If anything, it's going to be the Amway or the Amway Center.
Yeah.
With live people.
I don't.
The Performance Center, the trainees are all sick. They all have coronavirus.
And now it's.
I mean, I guess at the end of the day,
It's just been them feeding. It's been awkward because they've just been feeding in audio of the crowd noise the whole time with no crowd in sight. Like baseball.
except with baseball, it's like the field is so big. You're not really 9 times out of 10, you're not focusing on the crowd even during an actual like non-COVID baseball game, unless
Right.
you get that asshole that's like standing back there like, which absolutely would be me, but that asshole paid for those seats and now I can make fun of him. Like, I feel like the field's so big that it's like, oh, whatever. And the same thing goes for soccer, where it's like, it is a massive rectangular pitch of just green grass and 24 men running around. 22. I don't care about the fans. With wrestling, it's like, kind of like participation. Like, audience participation is almost required.
Because there's only 2 people, 2 to like 6 people in the ring at once.
Yeah. But yeah, so they might have a live crowd. Also, they're probably leaving Full Sail University after 8 years at the fucking place. Where are they going, you might ask? No one knows. Could be the Amway Center. Could be the Performance Center. No one knows. It's just not Full Sail anymore. Also, NXT is going to be live from now on. This, by the way, all of this news, one bullet point that I had tonight. When I said a lot of shit's happening with NXT right now that I don't understand, I meant that specifically.
Wow.
Which just means that Indus Share guys can't spoil the ending of Great American Bash again.
Can I also give another piece of news that I'm not
I've
even...
so much more, but yeah, go for it.
Oh, you have so much more?
Yeah, no, I've got more to say. It's just, if you have something that you want to say, go for it. You might have, maybe you have one of my pieces of news. But if it's about Twitch, don't say it, because that was my main piece.
No, okay. It's something I just found right before the podcast. The headline is, Vince McMahon and Triple H's relationship is complicated with WWE draft.
Is this Facebook?
So I'm trying to find kind of a summary right now. Vince there's a whole stress with Triple H that Vince wants some of the NXT superstars that Triple H isn't prepared to get rid of yet. And I think that's happened already with some superstars in the past, like Ricochet and Aleister Black, which both of them were taken when Triple H was not ready or not aware even. But Triple H wasn't consulted with them. And WWE is considering plucking more this time around. The only name that this article has heard in high consideration is Chelsea Green.
Why? Why? What value does that have to anyone? I don't understand. I know my mic is so much closer to my mouth right now because I'm not using my actual microphone anymore. But I don't understand. Oh, I'm doing my Donald Trump hands. I don't understand what the fucking deal is with Chelsea Green. I've watched enough of her. I've watched enough of her recently. I've watched enough of her older matches. I don't get it. I don't. It makes me feel like I'm going fucking crazy. Because there's so many people, like if you had said, oh, they really want to pluck up Rhea Ripley. If they'd said that, I'd be like, that makes sense. She's different. She's new. She's young. Sure. She could take on at least 90% of the women and it would make sense. Chelsea Green is still the same type of wrestler that the main roster has a problem with now, where they're all stuck in this divas era of like, I'm so pretty. I wear rings.
And we have more to say about that kind of attitude later on in the show.
I didn't even write that promo down. I just realized I didn't write that down.
Well, luckily
I was so
did.
mad when I was watching it. I was so confused. No, I think I made one note actually. I'm excited to see what it is, but future stuff. Don't worry. I literally, even with my font at 6 point or 18 point, sorry, I've got 6 pages of notes tonight.
Oh,
that's
wow.
it.
You see,
how much I hate it tonight.
To me, that sounds like a lot because I have half a page of not even half a page of notes here.
Well, just think. I think I can fit about 25 lines on one page with 18 font with spaces between certain sections. So, it was bad. Anyways,
well, I have
got more to dive into.
I have a little bit more in this article. It's just a little bit.
About things being too long.
It's just a little bit. You've been the one going on this whole time.
No, I'm just so mad right now. I'm hyped up. I'm not in a good mood. So you're bringing up shit that's making me mad, and then I got to talk about it.
Basically, the whole thing is that Vince pretty much has almost 100% of the say when it comes to who gets drafted and who gets moved up. Apparently, Triple H or somebody at WWE said Triple H doesn't exactly have zero say when it comes to the draft, but they said nobody has say over Vince.
So, you know what this just feels like to me? Not to bring up anything that might be divisive at the end of the day. This lovely country we live in, where it's like, yeah, there's people that have a say in what happens in different places, but at the end of the day, the person who can make the most shit fucked up is the head honcho. And he continues to. Regardless of if it's good for anybody, he does it because he wants it. And I mean, if I were Triple H, the fact that Triple H has been around this long for NXT, the fact that Shawn Michaels has been around this long, power to them, I guess, because like I probably would have like gone out of my head. I probably would have gone crazy at this point. Like, I mean, because I know that like in NXT they still have like it's still kind of a training ground where like they've got classes and stuff. So like imagine being like, yeah, I've spent all my time training these wrestlers, bringing them up, making sure that they know how to do what they're supposed to do. And you want to you're just going to grab them and profit off of them. You're just going to just shove them in the back of your van and run off to the Amway Center with them? Oh, okay. Doesn't affect me at all. Like, imagine that.
Okay. So,
I fuse up this big right now. I just want you to understand that. Just want you to understand.
At least
I
it's,
don't know why I feel this aggro.
At least it's bigger than the cat's fuse.
The cat's fuse doesn't exist. She's asleep somewhere. I don't know why. Like I've been in such a bad mood since I started watching SmackDown tonight, and now I'm just in a horrible mood. So just gear up.
I'm surprised that first fight didn't cheer you up at all.
Jey versus AJ?
Yeah.
If it was a good fight, maybe it would have.
All right. Well, you want to just continue through this?
Let me keep going. All right. Angel Garza, actually good news. Angel Garza will only be out for 1 to 3 weeks. The tear in his hip wasn't like with anything major. It was just kind of fucked up enough that he couldn't continue. Not so fucked up that like ice stretching, carefully working out on it isn't going to like injure him.
Mm-hmm.
So he should be back in a couple of weeks, and that's it. Which, God, dude, I was, much as I and Angel Garza would be a bit grating. I was gonna miss the dude. That's my boy. Who's he gonna rip his pants off for? His wife? She sees this all the time.
Yeah, both him and Demi are out.
What are you trying to say, Marcus?
Saying maybe Angel's disappearance has something to do with a certain faction. Retro.
His disappearance is falling off the ring. Slapjack would never. I miss Slapjack so much.
Thank you, computer, for telling me my Outlook settings are out of date. I don't have Outlook.
The place I used to work, they always use Outlook, and I was like, 2020. So NXT was talking about doing a new show, a second show in addition to NXT. They've been talking about this for a while, actually, for a couple of months now, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
If not, maybe longer. This new show would be called NXT Underground. It came up with the idea before Raw Underground ever existed in Raw's spectrum. I want to have more to say than that, but I don't.
Who would lead it? Wade Barrett or something?
Was Wade Barrett there last week, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes I just don't listen to him. It's kind of weird. Nothing against him. My brain just like tunes him out entirely, and I don't know why. But yeah. So that's the thing. I don't know if they're going to get any traction, considering the fact that they're still in their Wednesday Night Wars situation with AEW.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that they would get a new show in addition to a show that's not doing as well against their competitor. I also don't think that the WWE needs any more sideshows. I mean, Jesus Christ, with Raw Underground, 205 Live, main event. How much more can we do?
NXT UK.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's more of a branch, but even that, they were like, hey, NXT UK is back. And then they said nothing else ever again. I don't even remember what day it's on. I think it's Thursdays.
Oh, it's Tuesdays. I think it's Tuesdays.
Shows how much they fucking promote it. Anyways. Undisputed Era is set for a sort of kind of maybe a split. I don't really like talking about it. Kind of upsets me on the insides. Basically, there's news that Kyle and Adam Cole are set for a full-on babyface turn, which kind of makes sense because Adam Cole has been the best supportive friend in the whole goddamn world. And Kyle O'Reilly's Kyle O'Reilly. And there's nothing in the writing for Roddy or Bobby to become faces. So it's not necessarily saying that Undisputed Era is going to actually, like, for real break up. It's just saying they're definitely changing Kyle and Adam, and there's no say in how that's going to affect the actual faction itself, which I think is going to be interesting. Maybe a dumb move because, Undisputed Era is one of their biggest things right now, like their most noticeable pieces. I don't think it's the smartest thing in the world to just say, eh. But also, they have been around for an extremely long time, so it's like.
Plus, like, just because they break up doesn't. It still means they'll still be there. Like, Sasha and Bayley were one of the biggest things of SmackDown. They broke up, but they're still around.
I don't want to see a Bayley and Sasha type breakup with the four boys, so that'll probably. I don't think I'll come out of TakeOver alive on that one. I might just be like laying down talking to my computer.
It'll probably be more of like, you guys are being wusses, not standing up for yourselves. And then,
but I don't know how they would do that when Adam literally was like, I'll fucking fight you right now if you really want to Austin Theory.
Because it's probably gonna be like Drake and Killian are like wanting to come after Bobby and Roddy. They have a match. Bobby and Roddy like pull out some chairs or some shit, start beating the hell out of them. And then
it's gonna be like what happened with Kyle, where he was like, "Hey guys, can we not?"
Yeah, Kyle's gonna be like, "Guys, stop!" And then they'll be like, "Kyle, shut up! You're such a wuss. Like, get out of here!" And then Adam's like, "No, don't talk to him like that."
The problem is that you're totally right. Like, you're 100% right. That's exactly how it's gonna go. It's gonna break me on the insides, and I'm gonna have to die. But anyways, one thing that I was thinking about was that I don't know where this ends up with Bobby, per se. As Bobby said on the Not Sam show, or Not Sam show on Sirius, like, I'm 40 something. Like, at that point, I think he was like 41 or something. But like, I'm 40, whatever. I'm in a developmental territory. It's not much more developing I can do. So I don't know where that leaves him. However, would love to be able to see him fighting as like a person. I'd love to see Roddy fighting as a person as well, because we've been getting a lot of Kyle and Adam fighting as they often do. But Roddy is like so fucking good.
We've been getting Roddy fighting by himself.
True, we've been getting more of that. I just want more of that.
Bobby will never get him fighting by himself because he is always like the tag team person on UE. But we do need to move a little faster.
I'm on my last piece. I'm also not pushing myself tonight because. Sorry. I want to care so badly about SmackDown. I did for like 2 weeks. I did. And they did all this, and I was like, all right, whatever. Anyway, so it becomes very apparent to us now that the WWE wrestlers need to fucking unionize like yesterday. Holy shit. So the Twitch thing, the whole Vince McMahon doesn't want people having third-party applications like Twitch or Cameo unless it directly benefits WWE. Originally that news alone sounded like, oh my god, that's fucking horrible to do. And then Vince McMahon said, oh no, you don't get how bad it could be, because I'm going to make it that bad. So Vince McMahon, or rather the WWE, has begun forcing talents to sign over their Cameo accounts. And has also forced talent to sign new contracts that include the following. Talent affirm that WWE is their authorized representative. Talent authorizes Cameo to make all payments and other compensations to the WWE. Cameo will not be made a party in any dispute between the talent and WWE. The authorization can be canceled at any time, only if the account is canceled. Basically, wrestlers can use third-party applications like Twitch and Cameo. Profits do not go to them. Apparently, hang on. There's two more things I'm going to add to this as far as like bullets, and then you can jump in because I know that you told me a lot about this. I pulled up an article, and this article was actually from today, and I think what you were telling me was from an article from a day ago.
Yeah.
But my understanding at this point is that WWE is in control of the account. Sorry, I didn't mean to flip off the camera. That was not my fault. Or it was my fault. That was not my intention. But their accounts are basically controlled by the WWE. Payments go to them. You told me that WWE can also now, within these contracts that they're disseminating, they can force people to stream, and they kind of choose the schedule. Andrew Yang, who has nothing better to do than feel bad that he didn't side with Bernie during the original primary process, is speaking out again about this because, sure, why wouldn't he? You know, it's 2020, nothing matters. He thinks that this is fucking absurd and totally ridiculous. Also, Roderick Strong deactivated his Cameo account because he said that was ridiculous. Whatever you have to say in addition to it is go on.
Yeah, so WWE is just getting a portion of what streamers make, but basically the streamers it's gonna be like another job for them, another work obligation, because WWE will tell them when and when not to stream. They'll be taking portions, and they'll basically be working like full-time employees still, except they'll be working longer than full-time employees because this will branch into their free time. And so it desperately calls for a union amongst wrestlers, something to really tell Vince that this is not okay. And you have wrestlers like Paige, like Dakota Kai, maybe Xavier Woods too, who aren't happy about this in the slightest at all. Let me pull up the tweet from Paige real quick because it does a good job at summing up everything here. Where is it? Spent a lot of time. Okay. Spent a lot of time responding to people. Said Twitch is my place, what I built with my wonderful fans, a place where people can go and feel some positivity and a little bit of normalcy. Fun, interactive, non-judgmental, charitable place. I'm proud of what I built with my fan base. And the fact that WWE wants to basically monetize all of that for themselves, kind of atrocious.
Yeah, I mean, Mia Yim also tweeted about it, and she said, I use Twitch streams and like the profits from them to pay for a friend's burial and to pay for a friend's kidney transplant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these people aren't using these profits to pad their fucking wallets at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who has another job on top of the streaming that pads their accounts with the money that they get from it. Maybe I'm mistaken, but everyone that I know that streams part-time basically does it because, one, it's fun to play games, and two, if you're in this industry, it's fun to interact with people outside of the confines of a meet and greet or outside the confines of inside the ring, where you don't actually get to meet people. People get to meet whatever you are that day.
Right.
I think it's disgusting. I think it's gross. I think that there's no reason that these people shouldn't be able to shouldn't be allowed to just sit back and be like, I'm playing fucking, I don't know, Final Fantasy VII. Oh, hello, random ass fucking person. Thanks for donating. You asked a question. That's interesting. Let me answer it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and there's so many people too who are still so careful about kayfabe and about revealing certain things with wrestling, even when they're on their like recreational streams. I mean, even when I was watching Adam Cole's stream and like the whole Pat McAfee thing was going on. Normally, like if you donate money, like a certain level or whatever, I don't know, or you make a certain subscription, you can ask a question. Somebody asked like, "What's up with you and Pat McAfee?" I've watched this man respond to every single question. Like I watched the whole fucking thing. I watch him respond to everyone. That is the one question that slips by. I was like, so you care? They aren't just like doing this like blindly. Besides AJ Styles, maybe. But.
Yeah, I briefly looked at the Up Down Down guys' Twitters to see if they said anything about it. Power Breeze hasn't tweeted in 3 days, if not longer. Adam Cole, same thing. Cesaro, same thing. The only one who has tweeted in that time is Xavier Woods, and it's been like pictures or tweeting Up Down Down stuff. But I think the most interesting thing that I found was Tyler Breeze changed his Twitter name to it's his real name now, Matt something.
Oh yeah, something French because he's Canadian.
It's Matt Clement.
Yeah, Clement.
Matt Clement.
If you want to be annoying. But I think his actual name is Matthias Clement. Very nice name.
But
yes.
I hate to cut this segment short.
I'm done, so.
Okay. Great.
I will be doing another promo, but I am done.
And now we move on to the matches and promos once we talk about our next shout out.
Right on, brother bear. There we go. I made this one a little shorter than the others because I know this person personally.
And it's Vince McMahon.
I would rather claw my own goddamn eyes out.
Shout out to his little project that he's doing, WWE. Very ambitious. They got a lot of independent contractors.
I mean, it's great that they're giving freelancers a job, right?
Yeah. All right, what do we got?
This podcast brought to you by Vizzy. It's got antioxidants, so maybe I won't get sick. Just kidding. I've got a sinus infection.
This podcast is not sponsored.
Why are you allowed to say it and I'm not? I look so tired. It's so sad. All right, so let's move on to me sharing my screen again. This promo is for my best friend in the whole wide world. Her name is Sarah. She's a lovely lady. If I step over to my promos tab, can you tell me if it shows up? Because it shouldn't. Is it still her Instagram?
Yeah.
Cool. So Sarah, who's been my best friend for 5 years now, I think. Once again, met in college. This is the one promo that is not photography related entirely. She just started a new Instagram about rooting. Yeah, I guess sort of, like in some ways, because that's the main. I think that's the main draw because it's an Instagram and all that. But she just started this new Instagram, and it's all about her reading and reading like new books. The way I kind of see it is like she's going to read a book. She's going to give y'all like a nice, what are they called? Recommendation. There we go. And she has been doing stuff like this for a while because she used to work at a day camp where she did a lot of educational stuff based on reading and arts and crafts and theater. So I really encourage everyone to go and check it out. I know that she's got a really great taste in books, mostly because I have seen what she reads, and I personally enjoy some of the books that she reads. Plus, they're really pretty pictures. Look at these. They're so nice. This one's my favorite. This is her with different outfits based on the books that she's reading. It was very pretty. But yeah, please check her out. She's really awesome. She's a really sweet girl, and she might just find your next favorite book to read. Like, who's to say? Who's to say? Not me. Just kidding. It is me, because I found great books through her. So you can't see me, but I'm raising my arms.
I gotta close out of that window. Here we go. Okay.
Back. Shall we? Sadly, we have to remove Sarah's name. It's me every time. Shall we talk about matches and promos?
We shall. So,
all right.
We started off with the tribal chief ceremony, which wasn't. Oh no. Streamlabs. Okay. Kind of froze for me. Either Discord or Streamlabs froze for me.
I moved something, so it's my fault.
We had the tribal chief ceremony with Roman and Paul Heyman. Paul starts it off and starts to list all of the family members again of the Anoa'i family until Roman asks for the mic and says, "Don't call me that. Do not call me that. Don't call me the tribal chief, because he did not acknowledge me as such. That he is Jey Uso, of course. And he wants Jey Uso to come out, have a little chat ski with him." And so he does. And long story short, we are now getting a Hell in a Cell match between the two for the title, but also the, quote, largest stakes in all of wrestling. And I have a feeling, because they can't do death, that it's gonna be the loser has to leave the family. And then that's when they can bring in like Rikishi and Yokozuna, just be like, "Hey, that's not, you can't do that, Roman. That's not okay."
That's not how that works. Genetics go a little deeper than that, buddy.
Yeah, it's what just happened? Okay, my mic is back.
Disconnected for a second, but you're fine now. Yeah.
I said at the beginning of the podcast, I apologize if my mic just randomly disconnects. I don't know what's going on. My computer is having a heart attack tonight. But yeah, so that happens. We're now getting a match between them at Hell in a Cell, which won't be the main event because apparently Bayley versus Sasha is supposed to be the main event. But after that, AJ Styles comes out and says, all right, look, I don't think you're worthy of having a chance at the Universal title. If there's anyone who's going to get it, it's going to be me. But AJ, you just lost the Intercontinental title and lost a chance at getting it again. And you weren't even there when they were having the Fatal 4-Way for the Universal title opportunity. So, and then we move into the match between them.
Yeah. First of all, if anyone didn't expect Roman and Jey to be fighting at Hell in a Cell, you were not. There's no way in hell that you actually watch wrestling. It's just not possible.
Also, I don't know what you're talking about with this fight. I really enjoyed this fight.
Listen, dude, you're in charge of picking fight of the night and all that shit, because I have nothing. I've got nothing for you tonight. AJ also comes out has a lot of shit that's like very much bordering on like maybe racist, maybe like a little racial stereotyping right there.
What did you say?
There were a couple things about said something along the lines of like, who cares how many chicken bones you have or something like that, and I was like,
well, I know he mentioned the luau.
yeah, there were a couple things where I was just like, I get it, it's AJ Styles, but also like, oh, cool, okay, all right. Anyways, so Jey attacks AJ. AJ immediately comes after him, kicks Jey in the stomach, right hook to AJ. Then Jey plants Styles right into the mat. There's a takedown to Jey, a kick, another kick, but this time and it was to his throat. AJ is then choking Jey against the ropes, catapults him throat first into the bottom rope. AJ goes for the Styles Clash, but runs right into a facebuster from Jey, who then throws him over the ropes to the outside, goes to splash him, but AJ kicks him in the chin as he tries. AJ then suplexes Jey into the announce desk. There's some knees to Jey's spine. Yes, so not knees, sorry. I misspoke that whole note. There's spine breaker across AJ Styles' knee to Jey. Jey then dodges AJ, sending him face first into the post. It's a boot onto AJ's midsection, uppercuts him, gets a nice Samoa drop, pulls off a neck breaker, and then tries to super kick. It misses. AJ then Pele kicks him. Jey manages a backbreaker, tries to launch AJ over the ropes again, but AJ holds on. He tries to kick AJ in the face, but that doesn't work. So instead, he enziguris him. AJ is now out of the ring on the ground. Jey dives out onto him. AJ's going up for the phenomenal forearm on the ropes, but Jey loosens him from the ropes with a super kick, and then sends him straight to the canvas. Super kicks him once more before Uso splashing him and winning. Why did we have this match? I don't really know. I just think that they want AJ to be done with the Intercontinental Championship, and that's about it.
Yeah, and open up the possibility of him going after the title at some point. But I can't imagine that anytime soon. Maybe in between the Usos and The Rock. Because I can't imagine anybody else in the Anoa'i family would go for the title. Because, I mean, who else could? Because besides the Usos, you have men who have retired, or women, and they wouldn't want any of them fighting Roman.
Nina could. They're just scared.
True. They're scared of Nia Jax fighting him. But
Nia Jax would drop the shit out of that man. We all know it.
but I'm definitely excited for the kind of competition they can bring to Roman, especially with the draft coming up. I think there's a lot of people on Raw who would definitely make a good matchup. And Smackdown too, that they kind of haven't really explored yet. Like if we were getting Cesaro going after the Universal title, that'd be really cool to watch. And even like Sheamus or even Corbin, but for some reason WWE loves to stick them in their anti-babyface roles right now, as we'll get to later on. So after that fight, we have a little promo with Sami Zayn where he's all ecstatic after winning the Intercontinental Championship, both titles. But he says, I'm mad. I'm not mad at WWE executives anymore. I'm mad at you, the viewers, because you all allowed this to happen. And we're all sitting back and saying, but Sami, nobody has a higher say than Vince. Just ask Triple H. But then he decides to throw Jeff Hardy's old title in the trash, where it belongs. And then after that, we move on to the next fight between John Morrison and Otis.
I just think that's like such an ultimate heel move with Sami too. I mean, this is exactly what Punk did. Just right off the bat, he was like, "No, fuck the fans too." And Seth does the same shit.
Even though Sami is very much the opposite in reality.
CM Punk?
No, I mean the very opposite of who he's playing.
Oh. Like, I mean, I guess. I don't really know what CM Punk is like in real life. And I assume it's the same way that he was in the ring, honestly. But yeah. Which I think makes it almost harder for me to be like, yeah, Sami, I feel so bad. I feel so bad that you're mad at us. Oh, Sami. You goof. But yeah, then that brings us to this match. Why are we having it? Why do we keep having it the same way that we've had it every single time? The first 4 times that we had this match, I said, oh, maybe this is the time John Morrison beats Otis.
Well, I'm glad this match makes sense because Tucker attacked Otis last time.
Right.
And I'm glad they did it in the way that they did because it was a squash. It was a very fast squash that showed off John Morrison's cockiness, but also showed off Otis's ability to absolutely crush John Morrison. And we'll probably get a Hell in a Cell match for the was it the contract? Yeah.
You just said that Tucker attacked Otis last week?
Yeah, he did.
Which would have been cruel.
Oh,
Tucker did not attack Otis last week.
Tucker attacked John Morrison.
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen this fight so many times now. It's like every time I'm like, okay, so maybe this time John wins. Yes. But no, it never happens that way. This time Otis throws Morrison to the top rope where Morrison poses for a second before getting kicked in the side. Another kick.
He first kicked Otis in the face as he was posing.
Sorry. I missed that. You know, between the 5 moves that happened tonight with this match, I'm shocked that I did.
You can't miss a single one.
Smackdown challenges that every fucking time. Like, I find on Raw and NXT, I'm like, shit, I can't type fast enough to keep up with everything. Smackdown, I'm like, I don't care. Otis then is kicked in the back of the neck. He clubs John and then kind of stands on him for a little while. He gets a hard clothesline on him, then a high elbow to Morrison. He then suplexes John Morrison and does an elbow drop after doing the caterpillar. And then off the top ropes, he splashes Morrison. And hey, could you guess? John Morrison loses. Because why would he fucking win against this man? This man's huge. This is not John Morrison's battlefield. He is in a different battlefield from where he should be. I swear to God, I need this to end.
I'm excited for the next step though. Oh wait, yep. Is this better? Can you hear me? The stream can hear me. You can't for some reason.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you? Oh my God. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm about to lose it. I can't hear you anymore. Oh wait. Say something.
La, la.
There we go. Okay.
Do you want me to hand up one of these heart seltzers over to you so you can tolerate this? Apple mango.
You know what? Sure. Bring it on over. This podcast is already a wreck. Let's just embrace it. There was a good portion of the podcast where we were muted.
Every set.
Thank you. Excited to try this.
Just take that. You like this, like what?
It tastes really good.
I thought you'd like it. Like I said, very White Claw, which isn't my favorite, but it's tolerable. All right.
I forget where we were at in the podcast.
Sheamus
Oh,
versus Shorty.
oh,
If-
I
if-
was I wanted to mention something first. I'm excited for the next step, which is the lawsuit, because Otis said um he was gonna represent himself, which will be interesting.
That is one promo I'm actually looking forward to this time, I think. Which is saying a lot for SmackDown, because 9 times out of 10 we start SmackDown and I'm like, oh, here goes hours of my fucking life. We're gonna get it back.
One thing I'm excited for potentially is Tucker to be like, okay, Otis, so you representing yourself, not the best idea. So I brought a lawyer, and that lawyer ends up being like Booker T or something.
I just hope that, like, Tucker is all of a sudden like, actually, I went to law school in addition to being in heavy machinery. And then he just, like, sits down and he's like, all right. Like, he's this, like, fancy-ass lawyer bitch. Love that.
Or they bring in Bob Odenkirk to play Saul from Better Call Saul.
You know, they'd have a winning shot.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the second, third, whatever. We'll call this the second match, because I'm not going to call John Morrison and Otis a full match. I think that's fair. I'll call that 1.5. This is number 2. It's also number 2 because it was not good.
Well, it's 2 because this was also half a match.
I kind of wanted to go more for like it's number 2 because it's shit.
This match,
I feel bad saying that about Sheamus.
This match had less of a right being a squash than the last one did. Because
this match had less of a right existing.
Yeah, like Sheamus, incredible wrestler, incredible athlete. Shorty G, although he's smaller than Sheamus, he's an Olympic athlete. He's fought Sheamus before. Like, this should not have been as much of a squash as it was. For literally no reason. This match had no reason for happening. It didn't lead into any promos at all. This could have just been a promo of Sheamus just responding to Big E's little video, which I should mention, Big E just mentioned on the Jumbotron saying that next week he's challenging Sheamus to a Falls Count Anywhere match. And I'm really wondering, all these matches that are slated to happen next week, this, Kevin Owens versus The Fiend, Bayley versus Sasha Banks, how are all those going to happen at the same time as the draft?
You sense that maybe something went awry this Friday evening? You sense that? Because with everything that they're like, oh, we're doing it next week, it's like, well, why am I tuned in this week then?
I mean, maybe. I'm also wondering if the draft is literally, because I know the draft has happened before, but maybe it's different this time. Maybe it's just gonna be, I don't know, like Stephanie McMahon or something, or whoever leads SmackDown, Vince, saying, all right, here are our new SmackDown wrestlers, and they just open the curtains and show everyone at once rather than announce them one at a time, which is exactly what I want them to do.
I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, let's jump into this match before we speculate too much, because I might have to get up and pee soon. We have Sheamus versus Shorty G. Why? Who knows? I don't fucking get it. Sheamus, however, was not wearing his coat, so, 0 days since our last ugly coat incident. So there was a failed brogue kick and then a German suplex from Shorty to Sheamus. Hey, if Shorty can German suplex the massive human being that is Sheamus, how did he lose so goddamn quickly? I don't know. A missed moonsault from Shorty G into a brogue kick, and then Shorty G is just stumbling around like a goddamn drunkard and falls right into another brogue kick. Sheamus wins. I just read the 3 and only notes I have for this match. That's it. That's all I wrote down for this. Sad. Bad news bears, dude.
So shall we move on?
Yeah, please.
So after that, we had the KO show. Lovely, lovely little thing, and we've been like angry about this whole cross-brand invitation that has been thrown around so much. It was the reason Cesaro and Shinsuke were on Raw, and it's the reason Kevin Owens was on Smackdown today. Looking it up today, I finally found out exactly what it is. So, certain superstars on each brand are allowed an invitation to go cross-brand. And so far we've seen that that's Cesaro and Shinsuke and Kevin Owens. And it's something that was just enacted this year. So I'm wondering who else is a part of that. Probably Bayley and Sasha, since we've seen them on Raw many times. Probably Asuka, since she's been on SmackDown. Nia Jax and Shayna. I assume any title holder can do it. Minus like the US title, the Intercontinental title, and 24/7 title. I'm hearing that noise too. I'm choosing to ignore it.
Fireworks going off all at once. You can't see it. I can't see it. Might be a train.
But on the KO show, we have Alexa Bliss and Alistair. Wow, I'm jumping ahead. Kevin Owens. Cheers.
Hell yeah, brother.
Antioxidants, vitamin C.
You fucked up.
Yeah. I'm gonna start chugging vitamin C from now on. Orange juice. Getting me crunk. But Kevin Owens brings on Alexa Bliss, and he mostly brings her on because he just wants to ask her what's going on. You haven't seen like yourself. You've been, kind of crazy. Not gonna lie. And he mentions that it reminds him of somebody he knows. A Mr. Aleister Black, who he calls his nemesis. And Aleister Black is probably just sitting in his home, like, yes, I'm his nemesis.
Or also, can I quickly say before you keep going, I want to point out that Alexa Bliss sounded normal last week. She sounded like a normal human being.
And now she sounded drunk.
I don't know how many people who watch this also overlap with the circle of people that watched Skins the first 2 seasons, like I did. She sounded just like Cassie from Skins, and Cassie from Skins, her like primary line in 90% of the episodes was just, "Oh, ow." So, I don't. And also, Kevin sounded incredibly Canadian tonight. I don't know what was going on with that either. He sounded weirder than he normally does. He sounded very like enunciated.
Mm-hmm.
I could hear the accent. Where normally, like on Raw, I'm just like, "That's Kevin."
Yeah.
This time it sounded like, "Oh, that's Kevin from a different place." I get it, you're Canadian, but what?
But yeah, he talks about Alistair, and then Alexa's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. She plays dumb. But then she starts talking about the Fiend and saying, I don't remember the exact verbiage she uses, but it's something along the lines of, when you're just around him, you just fall into a trance. Or he says it seems like she's brainwashed, and she says, yes. My brain is washed. Washed of the lies of the WWE. I'm just like,
yeah.
This is weird.
My brain has been washed. Go for it, girl.
And then she says, the Fiend's in here right now with us. And Kevin Owens freaks the fuck out. He like stands up from his chair and like kicks it back. And then lights go black. Instead of running, Kevin Owens just stands there. And then the Fiend just pops out in front of him, gives him the nice mandible claw. And now we're getting Kevin Owens versus The Fiend next week. And it's more of that cross-brand stuff. Definitely preparing for the draft. I think we're going to see Kevin Owens go to SmackDown.
I just say.
Oh, boy.
Just a little oopsie doopsie out there. Real quick. So, Braun got the mandible claw, and now he's a massive dick bag.
Uh-huh.
Alexa got the mandible claw, and now she's a brainwashed woman.
Right.
Kevin Owens apparently also got the same treatment as the above two, but is now fighting the Fiend. It's like it's this disconnect that I don't understand, where they're like, oh, the mandible claw has different effects on different people in like certain varying degrees. It's like,
to be fair, Goldberg got the mandible claw too, and nothing happened to him.
okay, so that just adds to what I'm saying then. Just adds to what I'm saying. Like, what does it take for the mandible claw to make you an Alexa Bliss versus what it takes to make you a Goldberg? Basically, I assume that Goldberg's body was just like, fuck that.
You have to let him in.
Oh.
Alexa Bliss and Braun let him in.
I've better fucking not. I've had enough of this Fiend shit. I'm sorry, I've had enough. Especially with like the fucking okay, and also sorry. I'll finish the sentence. I will. At the end of that fucking promo, two things annoyed me, right? Fiend's there, Alexa Bliss is there, Kevin Owens is dead because he just had his mandible clawed. Alexa Bliss is like, I got Fiend, take my hand, yay. And so she like takes his hand. And it's sort of romantic, sure. And then the music just stops. They don't continue the music. They don't loop the annoying high-pitched squealing that they do. They don't loop that. It's just silent and red, which is fucking shit. Just learn how to edit his goddamn music. They did the same thing last week. It annoyed the hell out of me because I was like, just cut off. It disappeared and cut off. It was like, just fade it out. Just fade. Pro Tools, fade. Not hard. Second of all, you got like at least two cameras in the ring. One is a side view of Alexa Bliss's face. One is a full-on view of Alexa Bliss and the Fiend. Alexa Bliss takes the Fiend's fucking hand, looks in the camera to smile like a freaky little bitch. And they cut to the side view. Now, I know Otis. But was that the smartest choice? Could we not have just, I don't know, stayed on the fucking camera that showed her looking directly into and smiling at like the fucking girl from the goddamn ring or whatever? Am I asking that much? Am I?
Yeah, you are.
Want to go into the next promo? That's
no.
just as weird. Okay, that's fair.
I guess. So we have Lucha House Party and Matt Riddle. Well, sorry. You have Gran Metalik and Lince Dorado and Matt Riddle backstage, preparing for a match against Corbin, Cesaro, and Shinsuke. For some reason, we all know why this match is happening. We all do. It's obvious. It's dumb. It's so we can get another feud between Riddle and Corbin. But Matt Riddle has cornrows. That's all we'll say of that. And Lucha House Party. Oh, sorry. Lince is dressed like a fucking Megazord. I love him and his power and his love for Power Rangers. But he looked like a Megazord today. And I know that was intentional. It's ridiculous. And then they were asked, I forget by who. I forget who was interviewing them. Sorry, I'm like having a hard time. Kayla. Okay. They were asked why what happened to Kalisto And they're like, oh, Kalisto's probably still getting his mask on. He's having a little trouble, probably. And so they go out for this next match.
Why would Kalisto have trouble getting his mask on, Mark? According to Lindsay, why would Kalisto have trouble getting his mask on? Please tell me.
I didn't hear this part.
Oh, you didn't? It's because he's got such a big head, according to Lindsay Dorado. Kalisto can't get his fucking mask on because he's got such a big head. We stray further from God's light every fucking day.
So you want to talk about the fight?
I literally could ask for nothing more than to not have to. But I will, because I actually took notes and I didn't want to. The whole time this was happening, I felt like I was like, I got a filling on Thursday. Basically, the walk to my dentist's office from the subway felt about the same as doing this whole fucking match in my notes.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Riddle has cornrows. I want to reiterate the point. I know you said it. I need to reiterate it.
So, the fight.
Oh my god, yeah, I guess I'll fucking talk about it. God. Shinsuke versus Linsuke. Where we start?
Did you say Shinsuke versus Linsuke?
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway.
Well, normally my notes it's Shin versus Lin, so my abbreviations for them is Lin, GM, and Special K. Anyways, so Shinsuke is in. He's kneeing Lindsay in the stomach. We get a pretty nice little head scissors from Lindsay to Shinsuke, and then a drop kick. it's gonna hurt me now that I said it out loud. Kalisto comes out. He's pissed off. You know, Matt Corbin.
Yep, that's it. Matt Corbin.
Is in these fizzy drinks. Matt Riddle is just like a fucking third wheel at a party now. Just like watching like this like group of three arguing with each other. Like, wait, why did you replace me? And Matt's just like, I'm the replacement. So bringing us back to that quick promo. Lindsay said that he hopes that Grand Metalik, and Matt Riddle after this match can stay lucha lit afterwards, and I nearly clawed my fucking ears off. That would hurt.
Lucha lit is like their thing.
I know. But hearing it said to Matt Riddle just like brought me to a dark place.
If I'm gonna have gripes at all with what's going on here, it's not gonna be lucha lit because I like it.
To be fair, lucha lit on any other day. Down here on my list of things to complain about. Matt Riddle's cornrows are up here right now. Anyways. So we get Kalisto's out now, he's blah, blah, blah. Corbin's team is just kind of stomping Grand Metalik, except for Shinsuke, who's just kind of stomping the rope next to Grand Metalik's head. And Cesaro's in, and he does something that's really cool, and I appreciate Cesaro for this reason alone, which is he's got Grand Metalik in his goddamn arms. He's about to suplex him. Grand Metalik's just like upside down, straight as an arrow in his arms. Cesaro squats with the fucking man first, before suplexing the shit out of him. The force, the power, the bravery, impeccable. Shinsuke gets in, he starts kicking Grand Metalik in the midsection and then gets a front face lock on him. He decides to take a break from Grand Metalik to get Lindsay off the ropes. And then he attempts to suplex Grand Metalik, but that turns into a DDT on Shinsuke. Now we've got Corbin versus Riddle because we had to have this happen at some point in the match. Riddle kicks Corbin in the face and then elbows him. And Riddle suplexes Corbin. He misses a running knee to Corbin's face. He misses the moonsault, gets a senton into Corbin. I'm not going to say it the stupid way because I'm not an asshole. His knee then connects with Corbin finally. Shinsuke interferes in the cover. Lindsay then stunners Shinsuke. Cesaro's now in. It's Cesaro against Riddle. He does whatever he does to Riddle. I didn't catch that part. Callisto then in Cesaro's arms. Lindsay's in Cesaro's arms. Somehow Callisto accidentally clobbers him, basically. Matt Riddle sends some knees to Cesaro, then does the Undertaker move that's also called the Bro Derek. I want to call it the Bro Derek, though, because that makes it seem... The thing where, like, basically... Yeah, the thing that's, like, basically a pile driver, but you protect them by using your knees first.
Oh, no. No, Undertaker's thing is legitimately a pile driver where it's head into the ground. Matt Riddle does, like, the AJ Styles thing, where head between their legs flop down onto their stomach.
No, we watched that match last year. It wasn't Extreme Rules, it was one before that. Whichever one it was, I know that Undertaker did that move. It was a modified pile driver.
Was it on Shane McMahon?
Maybe. Yeah, because it was Undertaker and Roman versus Drew and Shane. Undertaker does that exact same thing.
No, I remember explicitly what you're talking about. It was still on his head. It was a modified pile driver because the legs were wrapped around the head.
Which is what happened tonight. Exact same move.
No.
Matt, you got your head, you get the head between the legs, and then you land on your knees first before the person's head goes into the actual canvas. So it looks like you've pile driven them, but you have not.
Matt Riddle jumps up before he does it. He doesn't go down onto his knees. He hops up and then flops down onto, like, kind of sandwiching them into the canvas.
Maybe I'm wrong. I thought I knew what I saw, but maybe I'm wrong. Whatever it is, it's the Bro Derek, so that's the actual name of the fucking move. Does it to Cesaro. They win. Lindsay and Callisto are fighting again in the ring as they did 2 weeks ago, I think, or 1 week ago. I don't really know. And Matt's holding them back, and that's about it for that. And then we get 2 more promos for the final whatever match.
Yeah, so after that we had the Carmella revealed to be the mystery SmackDown woman, and she does not look good. She's clearly had some kind of work done, and it just makes things look weird. As soon as it was confirmed it was her, I just checked out of this whole thing. I got not excited anymore. Apparently Carmella's high point in her career was when dancing was like her big thing, was like her gimmick. But yeah, I'm hoping it was somebody like Charlotte, which would make sense, or Trish Stratus, or, you know, somebody with a little bit more acclaim than Carmella. Especially since the last time we saw Carmella was like Money in the Bank or something, where she wasn't doing a whole lot. I mean, it's like if one day like Lana just came back out of nowhere. Like, okay, you haven't been doing much. It's I feel like Mickie James should have gotten this treatment, and Carmella should have gotten the Mickie James treatment.
Why do we put so much time and effort into Carmella just being like, I'm dressing fancier now? Like, if she became Big Titty Goth GF all of a sudden, I'd be like, okay, that's a change. That's a big change. But you just went from Staten Island Princess to Long Island Princess. Right? You moved, what, 25 miles maybe? Like 1 train ride? I don't know, dude. I don't care, and she looks fucking weird. Her face looks weird. She got some work done. I think that's why she was probably out. She definitely got work done. She looks strange as shit. What is with the Polaroid camera? Why is that a thing?
I think it's just a prop for the promos.
It doesn't even play into like her new like slogans and shit. It doesn't play into any of that. Like, I thought that maybe like because they make a very specific point of her putting out her hand and some schmuck putting it into her hand. And it's like, I was like, oh, maybe there's like something like, I don't know. I thought maybe like she'd say something that like pertained to using a Polaroid camera. No, nothing pertaining to pictures whatsoever.
It might be the whole vanity thing. Like she's now self-absorbed.
Now?
It just seems like we're just getting more Divas era stuff.
Give me another Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. We're probably going to get either Rhea Ripley or Mercedes or Raquel during the draft.
Well, Mercedes can't because she's in Retribution. She was poisoned by Slapjack with the COVID, so she's not allowed to move up.
I wonder if Retribution's going to be involved in the draft.
Half of Retribution goes to SmackDown.
Stephanie McMahon's just like, and up next to go to SmackDown is Retribution. And they just walk up on stage like, Retribution.
I miss T-Bar so much, though. How did y'all get COVID? Y'all wear masks.
But after that, we had Sasha in the ring talking to Bayley, and long story short, the main takeaway from this is that she is challenging Bayley to a match next week for the SmackDown Women's title, and that probably won't happen because they're going to want that for Hell in a Cell. Probably going to... Huh?
Probably won't pan out for her. She probably won't win.
I can almost guarantee it's going to be Bayley. Bayley doesn't win. She pulls out a chair and starts smacking Sasha with it, gets DQ'd, and then we have to have another title match later down the road. Same thing that happened with Asuka.
What I'm saying more so is I'm sure the match will happen. I'm sure that it will not end in Sasha holding the belt over her head.
Oh yeah.
By any means.
Especially like I don't think with the draft happening any major changes will happen right before that.
But can we put a little respect on Sasha's name for the massively intense bitch that came out of her mouth when she was talking about Bayley?
Yeah.
The final word was like, I personally felt like she was calling me a bitch in that moment. It was so intense.
I wish she'd call me a bitch.
Language! My little southern heart got like some butterflies all of a sudden. I was like...
But after that, we have the final event of the night. Sami Zayn versus Jeff Hardy. You want to take this away?
I'm trying to put an end to the SmackDown shit. Every week, every week I put 2 hours into this fucking show. It's not a lot, but it's after a full work day. And every week, they come back to me and they're like, we have nothing for you. And I'm like, yeah, you got a point. Yeah, anyways, love Sami Zayn. So, Sami is standing on Jeff's neck on the ropes. Jeff gets his power back up to punch Sami and then plant him into the canvas. He gets kicked in the ribs a little bit. Just for context, he is wearing rib tape because, Jeff Hardy jumped off a ladder into him while he was laying on a ladder. I guess that's why. Mark said that's why. I just agreed with him because I didn't have the energy to fight it.
It's what they've been highlighting all night.
Points, I guess. Sami then kicks Jeff in the midsection while punching him. Sami removed the top turnbuckle cushion. And no one was looking during Jeff Hardy's walkout song. Although Michael Cole and Corey Graves are facing him. And there were 2 people in the fucking ring. And if they, besides the ref, if it was just the ref in the ring, that means that also Greg Hamilton could see him. No one said anything. Also the cameraman. Also the cameraman watched him do it. Because he filmed it.
But the cameraman ain't snitches.
Fair point. Fair fucking point. The cameraman are just like, it's okay. Sure. He tries to slam Jeff Hardy's head into this exposed buckle. There's then a back body drop to Sami, and then a basement drop kick to Sami, and that sends him into the announce desk. Jeff tries to drop kick Sami, but lands spine first into the barricade. Once they're back in the ring, there's a jawbreaker to Sami and a clothesline to Jeff. Sharing is caring. Sami then throws Jeff out of the ring into the barricade. Some elbows into the back of Jeff's neck, off the ropes. He slams Jeff into the canvas. Sami gets up to the top rope, but Jeff also meets him up there, sends Sami crotch first into the top buckle. He superplexes him, then clotheslines him, and then does the inverted atomic drop to him. Once more does the welcome to the ball pit move, which apparently the announcers don't want to tell us what the actual name of the move is, because they still haven't. I will continue calling it welcome to the ball pit until future notice. The announcers don't want to tell us what the actual name of the move is, because they still haven't. Good?
Sorry, I clicked something in the chat, and now I accidentally opened up the mod tools in the chat. And it started playing the stream somehow. I fixed it so we can continue on. I'm just trying to figure out how to get back to the chat. I'm lost.
I just look up and you look like you've seen a fucking ghost. I was like, did I say something wrong?
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I guess they're never going to tell us what welcome to the ball pit actually is, and I don't feel like looking it up. So again, until further notice, it's welcome to the ball pit. And there is a drop kick to Sami. He tries the twist of fate, but it doesn't work. Sami does a backslide for Jeff, to Jeff, for Jeff, just to end it. That doesn't work. Sami almost pulls off the Blue Thunder Bomb, but it is rolled through by Jeff. And there is an exploder suplex to Jeff into the buckles from Sami. A reverse mule kick from Sami, I believe. I don't believe it was to Sami. Hey, Ben. I don't know. Finally, Sami manages to pull off the Blue Thunder Bomb. He places Jeff on the top rope. Sami's trying to do something. Jeff fights him off. This now leaves Sami prone in the ring, Jeff on the top rope. He swantons onto Sami, but Sami gets his knees up. And then Sami sends Hardy face first into the exposed buckle. So strange to make that your one singular goal in a match. But that is how Sami wins. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with y'all. I know the cameraman showed us direct imagery of Sami taking that padding off the buckle. I didn't see shit. I didn't see a damn thing.
Well, it sucks that we had 5 matches today. 2 of them were squashes. 1 of them was super short. And the other 2 were good or alright. Do we want to do the next promo, or do you want me to quickly list off the biggest rise, biggest fall of the week?
We'll do the next promo first, and then we'll jump into that.
Okay. We'll tack that with the
All
best
right.
of the night.
Yeah.
And don't forget, everybody, don't go anywhere. We have our NXT TakeOver 31 predictions coming up after the bests of the night.
But Elizabeth hasn't made any of them, so this is going to be on the fly for her.
I've made all of mine.
I think I know what most of my predictions are. even without needing to, know what is happening.
I have a feeling we're gonna have the same exact predictions.
There is a good chance. Is that better? I don't know. It's kind of worse, almost. Okay, so back to good old of me. Actually, this time I'm putting my glasses on. I can't see shit. It's driving me a little crazy. Let me turn the brightness down just a bit. So I'm going to share my screen again. Chrome tab. There we go. Okay. So the next person that I am giving a promo / shout out to is another person that I went to school with. Her name is Mairssa Carroll. I've always known her as someone who can do art really well. And she right now, she's an illustrator and an artist in general. And she's currently selling super cute October / fall themed sticker packs and notepads and pins and magnets. Here are some of the sticker packs. If you look here, there's a little pumpkin cat magnet. I really like this one because he's an absolute little cutie.
Well, it's pretty cheap too.
Yeah, it's super cheap. And magnets are not the only thing that she sells. Again, she sells stickers. You can see here on the side, sticker sheets like these two. Magnets like this pumpkin cat. She sells notepads, larger stickers, as well as, and these are my favorite. I'm going to pull this up in a bigger tab, a bigger image. But she also sells enamel pins, and I really like them a lot. I was actually considering getting one. I wonder if I zoom in if it'll make it even easier. No. But yeah, so she has these 3 in her store right now. Really cheap for good enamel pins also. Wait, can you see the window I'm in? You probably can't. That's fine.
I still see the shop.
I'll make it work. Make it work. So this one here, Marcus, you would notice this. This is of the town that we went to school in, of New Paltz. Sadly, currently sold out, but this was one of her first pins, I think. And then she also has these Animal Crossing ones. She has Pascal, a little otter with his little shells. He's super cute. And then she also has one that I believe is a popular. I don't know much about Animal Crossing. But then she also has this one with Blue Bear. And I didn't even know that she has a YouTube video about it. But so yeah, this is her shop. It's all super inexpensive. And again, she's another person where I'm like, you probably should charge so much more for all the stuff you do. But she has been involved in graphic and illustration design for as long as I can remember. And I really encourage everyone to check her out as best you can. I'm going to actually bring this sign a little closer just so people can see it. So her personal Instagram is tinyblueriss, TINYBLUERISS. She's got a lot of like her regular posts on here, but she also talks about like when her shop is like selling certain things. And then her website is Mairssa with 2 S's, MARISSA, Carroll with 2 R's and 2 L's, CARROLL.com.
Well, and we'll be putting all of these links and everything in the description of the YouTube video tomorrow.
And then I also just really want to quickly, because if she's got a YouTube video, I would like to also shout that out. But I've always really loved all of her stuff, and I think that she does so much, and it like.
Oh, there's a video playing. I don't know if we can legally play that.
It's her YouTube is just again her name, Mairssa Carroll. That's what I just pulled up. Sorry, but she does have this video of her making the enamel pins. So I encourage everyone to check her out. I encourage everyone to check out her shop and purchase her fall and October kind of themed things while they're still available, because I believe that she'll probably go into winter themed once spooky season is over. Yeah. That is my third shout out.
Thank you, Mairssa Carroll. Round of applause for Mairssa Carroll. And now we get into the bests of the night. Starting off with the best and worst of the week. The biggest rise and biggest fall within the Mark Mifsud power rankings of the WWE. The biggest rise goes to... Drum roll, please. Asuka. She rose up 131 ranks.
Jesus Christ!
After her title match against Zelina Vega, winning that. And then she also had a match on Monday on Raw. So 2 matches really helps you, especially when one of them is a title match and a pay-per-view match. And the biggest fall of the night, drum roll please.
God.
Is AJ Styles.
Why did you make me do that?
He had the biggest fall of the week, falling 100 ranks after losing the ladder match, triple threat ladder match for the Intercontinental title at Clash of Champions, and losing to Jey Uso today.
Thanks, brother. Snuggies.
Yeah.
Man. I feel that for him.
So, now shall we move into the best of the night?
Yeah, I guess, if there's any.
Oh, there certainly are. There certainly are.
I'm going with whatever you say, dude. I could not give less than a hoot about whatever the fuck happened tonight. I'm so burnt out by Smackdown.
So, promo of the night, we started off with the Tribal Chief ceremony with Roman, Paul, and Jay, with a little cameo by AJ Styles. This was great. I liked everything about this. Roman always has been giving a hell of a performance. And Jay has really shown his strides in delivering a hell of a promo. Especially with Roman. Goddamn, they make great shit. And then the cameo by AJ Styles at the end was just... It was a hoot. And then we had the Sami Zayn... What was that?
I'm not allowed to make cameos anymore.
Oh, shoot, you're right. The AJ Styles is canceled now. He's been fired by WWE because of us.
Sorry.
But after that, we had the promo with Sami Zayn, where he threw out one of the Intercontinental titles. It was funny. It was pretty good. And then we had what was after that? The KO show with Alexa Bliss. This was goddamn good. This is great. You had Alexa Bliss, who just gets crazier and crazier each week we see her. Kevin Owens, who is always delivering great promos, no matter how big or how small. And then the appearance by The Fiend just is the icing on the cake here. Really made a hell of a promo. And goddamn was it good. And then we had the interview with Lucha House Party and Matt Riddle. This is the bottom of the barrel here. We had Matt Riddle and cornrows. We had Lindsay Dorado dressed as a Megazord. Yeah. And then we had the introduction of Carmella. And then we had Sasha talking in the ring. I love how short these promos are with Bayley and Sasha. They're not drawn out in any way. It's very concise and to the point. It's not just thrown in to kind of waste time, fill up time slots. It's done very well. And we're not given the cliche, oh, Sasha's in the middle of speaking. She's about to be done speaking. But then Bayley attacks her from behind with a chair. No, we're not really getting that. It's great. I really like this. But the promo of the night tonight for October 3rd, I guess now, or October 2nd, 2020, goes to KO show with Alexa Bliss. You agree?
Actually, that was sometimes when I'm in this situation where it's like I hate everything that happened tonight. I find one thing that I didn't hate, and I say, well, if Mark picks this, I'm going to go with it. Which I guess would make that my pick.
Okay.
Yeah, this was the one thing that wasn't super grating. It is still weird because, like, I get it. The draft is happening, and you're bringing like different people from other brands over. I get it,
but it felt natural.
I mean, it's Kevin Owens. Of course, it felt natural. He's so good at cutting a promo that it's not shocking to me that like he can do it no matter where he is, or what he's talking about. So I really liked it. I thought it was really interesting. And it opened up a new door to a different story. So,
yeah. And now, fighter of the night.
Yeah, sure.
So we started off with Jey Uso versus AJ Styles. And my pick is Jey. He's really been showing his stuff lately with this storyline. And I wouldn't say he was the most impressive today with his fighting, but I loved how you could see his character progression throughout the fight. Like, you could see the gears turning as he was fighting. Because there was a point in the fight where he kind of realized, like, where he can catch AJ, or where he needs, like, where he snaps and goes all out. He shows that really well, very subtly. It's great. Jey is an incredible wrestler, and I'm so glad he's getting the spotlight now. And after that, we had John Morrison versus Otis. And John Morrison, he showed the most character, I guess. And then Sheamus for Shorty G. Sheamus landed a hit. That's it. Then we had King Corbin and Cesaro and Shinsuke versus Lucha House Party and Matt Riddle. I picked Lindsay. He had some good moves. Yeah. And then Sami Zayn versus Jeff Hardy. I picked Sami. Sami didn't look amazing today. I mean, neither of them did. But the use of the taking off the turnbuckle was very clever. It was great. Sami played into it really well. Sami he's not the most amazing technical fighter, but he is a great character in the ring. He really shows off his personality. He sells things, like, he sells moments really well. Not moves, per se. Not to say he does that poorly, but he sells storylines and characters really, really well. And that's one reason why we love him so much. But mostly because he is an amazing person inside and out of the ring. But my pick for fighter of the night tonight is Jey Uso. Jey looked great in the ring, just fighting alone. I think out of everyone, just pure fighting, Jey looked the best. And tack that on to how great he is, showing his personality, showing the progression of his style throughout a fight. Everything just clicked today.
Fine. Take it.
I feel like this is going to be a day full of fines.
SmackDown always drives me crazy because I just don't have anyone that I really want to pick.
Right.
But with that said, the same way that we like Sami for the fact that he like kind of shows his character a lot when he's doing his stuff, Jey wasn't fun tonight. Like Jey wasn't having a party. Jey was it was sad. It was a sad little man.
And the fact that we could see that is like the best part.
Right. I think that really added to the fact that he did so well and just like looked depressed as shit doing it.
Yeah.
Like my dude was just betrayed. So that helps me put it over, but I wish I was picking him for even bigger reasons at the end of the day.
Right. But hopefully maybe Hell in a Cell will be picking him. Or even next week.
I was gonna say, hopefully I don't have to wait till Hell in a Cell for some good goddamn fighting, but
I can already see next week is gonna be great, just based on the lineup that we have so far. I mean, we've got Big E versus Sheamus. We've got Big E versus Sheamus without Retribution. Kevin Owens versus The Fiend, a match that we have never seen before. And Bayley versus Sasha, something we've been waiting for. That probably won't pan out, but we'll still get some good stuff. Yeah. Now, fight of the night. The most painful part this whole night, because this was not a good night for fights. All right. So we start off with Jey Uso versus AJ Styles. Not an amazing fight. This fight was mainly for Jey. It was good. It wasn't great because AJ wasn't really there. There wasn't that motivation kind of fueling anything. Yeah, there was a title, but it felt like Zelina pushing herself into the title. Even though Zelina did an amazing job in her instance, it felt like that same amount of motivation went into this. Except AJ Styles didn't perform to the same level that Zelina did. And then after that, we had John Morrison versus Otis, a squash that had every right to be a squash, but we just got the same match for like the 4th time in a row. John Morrison was fun. He played his character really well. Otis too, to the extent that he can. I didn't hate this match. I didn't love this match. It's hard to love this considering it was a squash. But it wasn't terrible. It wasn't the worst that tonight had to offer. And then we had Sheamus versus Shorty G, the worst that this night had to offer. This match had no right being a squash. You had a veteran in the ring up against an Olympic athlete in Shorty G, who really needs to drop the gimmick. Just be Chad Gable. Just be Chad Gable. Let him be Chad Gable, Vince. This match was just 3 brogue kicks, and that was it. And then after that, we had the 6-man tag team between Corbin, Cesaro, and Shinsuke versus Lucha House Party and Matt Riddle. You didn't watch this match for the match. You watched this for what happened afterwards when Lindsay attacked Kalisto. And we're finally getting more progression on that story. But I hate that we just got this match just to get more Corbin and Riddle feud. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. They ruined the storyline the first time when they didn't actually have like the King's ransom. That it would have been great if they had like 10 wrestlers going after Matt Riddle, all trying to claim the ransom, but Matt Riddle just beats them all down. That would have been fantastic. But no, we just got Shorty G going after Matt Riddle. Completely just wasting all the potential that storyline had, and we're somehow getting this feud again. And the fight itself was just okay. You had Lindsay, who looked good. Grand Metalik looked good. Corbin I can't even remember a single move Corbin threw out today. Same with Matt Riddle, except what's the name of that move? The
Derek.
Derek. Yeah, that's the only move of his that I can remember today. Yeah, I can't remember anything Cesaro did. But after that, we had Sami Zayn versus Jeff Hardy. Really what today has been leading up to. Sami was great. Jeff Hardy was great. Everything about this match kind of lined up. The added danger in the removed pad on the turnbuckle really made this match a whole lot better. It took it a whole nother step. And I loved everything about this fight. I thought it was fantastic. I think Jeff Hardy could have done a little more. I think Sami could have been a little more impressive. But the fight itself was fantastic. I think this is my fight of the night. Jeff Hardy versus Sami Zayn.
I'm more willing to give it to this than anything else, I think.
A second to Jey Uso versus AJ Styles.
Yeah, I mean, what else are you going to give it to outside of those two? Yeah, I mean, thought this fight had a lot of good, character. Thought that it had a lot of strong follow-up to the storyline that it was coming out of.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that at least it was semi worth our time. Kind of hating the fact that now Sammy's got to deal with the broken and bent Hardy storyline, but at least he's winning. To say the least.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for the next time we get something involving the storyline that we bring Elias into the mix. And he says, Sami, I know you crashed the car into me, as he's walking in on crutches.
Oh, Elias. One day we'll have you back, buddy. I've been said that all of the 90% of your proceeds from Twitch and Cameo have to go to WWE. I'm sure we'll see him back much sooner.
Alright, so to run it back for our best of the night, we have promo, which is the KO show with Alexa Bliss. Fighter of the night, Jey Uso. Fight of the night, Sami Zayn versus Jeff Hardy. Prediction time?
Sort of.
Promo right now?
Last promo.
Last promo.
Last promo of the promo show until next month.
Woo!
Oh, God, I don't really want to see. Oh, no, it's not good. It's not good. Oh, folks. Oh, folks. Okay. Nope. There we go. All right. So again, I'm going to share my screen. The final promo of tonight is actually going to very deeply about as well. It is Alex James, photographer, as well, as I told everyone we would be seeing. Secondly, the promo goes to AJL Studio. Alex, the photographer, he's one of the best fucking photographers I've ever goddamn met. He did my sister's wedding, and that was kind of how I met him. He did her engagement photos, and then suddenly I didn't stop hearing her talk about how cool he was, and then suddenly he did her wedding photos, which makes sense, but then they moved in, bought a house like a couple houses from him, and I was like, oh, okay, so now you guys are best friends. And he's actually really cool. He's super sweet. I hate pictures being taken of me, and somehow he managed to take candids of me even. And I was like, that's impressive. Congrats, buddy. Made me laugh without looking like a goddamn fool. Thank you. He does mostly weddings right now, but he also does art, photography, just like basic like model shots and stuff like that. Basic sounds bad, I guess, when you're talking about photography. But like, he does like It's not basic, but he does like a lot of like artistic, modelly kind of stuff as well. His website is obviously primarily for weddings. I feel weird doing this, but this is his profile, or his portfolio. He just takes some very sweet pictures, and he's really good at kind of capturing the best moments of certain times. I know my sister has also worked with him, and I know he's just a really awesome dude. And I really wanted to use him for this promo, this final one, because I had actual personal experience with this person. So these are some of the photos. He does mainly New York, and specifically within New York, I believe it's the city as well as the Hudson Valley, but I know he travels around the Northeast for shoots as well. And he's just super fucking impressive. I am at a point now in my life where there's so many people that I know that are like getting married or getting engaged, and I'm like, use this guy very specifically, use no one else. You don't need to. You're not going to get the same experience. So now and to my face. Hello, it's me. Yes, to bring this a little closer because I wrote very small this time for some reason. I don't really remember why. But if you look here, his Instagram is AJL Studio Co. His personal Instagram is The Upstatesman. Men, M-A-N, not M-E-N. And his website is www.ajlstudio.com.
And again, oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, sir, Mark has met this guy too. Mark knows how fun this guy is. Would you, Mark? Give Alex a promo.
I was going to say, if, again, we'll be sticking all of these links and everything down. If you're watching this on YouTube, in the description. And if you're watching on the stream and want to know how we can find all these links, tomorrow our YouTube video will be going up. So find all the links in the description there.
As I said, Mark has met this guy.
Yes.
He's a very nice man.
Yes, he's very talented.
He's also got 2 dogs there. Very nice.
He makes me jealous because I'm also a photographer, but he's a much better one than I am.
He just has like a weird way of being like, here's the camera, here's you, click, click, and you're like, how'd you do it? How do I look good in this? There were several pictures during my sister's wedding where I knew for a fact I was making a dumbass face. I looked back at the picture and I was like, there's a picture of me sobbing my fucking eyes out during this wedding. And somehow the picture he took made me look at least generally attractive. I was like, it's got to be the lens. It's got to be the lens. There's no other reason for this. But I encourage everyone to check him out. He's super cool. And even if you just check him out to see like the pictures that he takes, if you're interested in that stuff, just as good. I mean, I know not everyone's getting married, but again, if you are getting married and you're within the Northeast area, I only recommend one man, and this is him.
Woo!
Yay! Oh, predictions time, huh?
Prediction time. So, if you're just tuning in to the predictions, first of all, you've missed about 2 hours of the show. What are you doing? Second off, NXT TakeOver 31 is happening this coming Sunday, and we're doing our predictions right now. What I'm going to do, I don't know if you want to join me, but for every wrong prediction that I get, I will take it upon myself to have to finish that many cans of hard seltzer during the podcast. So if I get 2 predictions wrong, I have to finish 2 cans. If I get all of them wrong, I have to finish 5 cans.
So wait, I'm confused.
Yeah.
There's 5 matches, I know that. So If you get 2 matches wrong, are you trying to finish 2 cans of seltzer in the podcast of the pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Oh, because we're going to go into the pay-per-view knowing who fucking won. God damn it. How do I not realize that? Anyways, yeah. Sure, but I get 1 sanctioned potty break.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right.
Also, we are making a precedent starting this coming pay-per-view where whoever has the most correct predictions will choose the punishment for the person who lost, who got the least amount of predictions correct. So, shall we start our predictions?
Can I add a stipulation?
What's that?
Can we have some sort of fun food to eat as well?
I assumed we were going to order food during the pay-per-view, but...
I have some food that I can eat and put myself on mute because I'm just realizing I'm probably going to die on a couple of hills for NXT. And I'd like to know that I'm not going to puke too because I've got to work on Monday.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, if you're dying on hills, I can almost guarantee that we will not have the same predictions if you're dying on hills.
We'll see. We'll see. Let me just real quick make a list here. I'm going to have you go in and say the name of the fight. Sorry, I'm going to lag a couple seconds here. Okay, so give me the first fight that we're talking about.
So, the first fight, according to CBS Sports, this won't be the first fight that happens in the night, but it's the first one on the card, is Finn Balor versus Kyle. Actually, let me start reverse order. We'll kind of end with the big championship. Sorry. First one is Kushida versus Velveteen Dream. And do you want to know who I picked, or how are we doing this?
I don't know what you picked.
I picked Kushida, primarily because I read somewhere that they might be pushing Kushida towards a Cruiserweight Championship title.
Vibes, I chose Kushida as well because I would never bring myself to fucking choose Velveteen Dream. Not in a million years. You would have to cut off my goddamn fingers, sorry.
I mean, you did pick him for a fight of the night one night.
Hey, Mark, you want to continue? I picked the other things that were happening in the fight. It was not just him. I picked quadruple question mark. To drink that Vizzy that I so kindly brought to you. I served to you on a silver platter.
So our next fight is for the Cruiserweight Championship, Speak of the Devil, between Santos Escobar and Isaiah Swerve Scott.
Alright.
Now, CBS Sports picked Santos Escobar for this fight. I picked Isaiah Swerve Scott.
You just picked him too! Basically, you're reading me the matches, and I'm typing out your name, my name, and then what I predict before you say anything. I'm predicting Swerve as well, mostly out of self-preservation, though.
I'm picking that because
you stuffed up nose right there. I'm sorry.
Huh?
When I said though, you could hear the fact that my nose is like just gone. Took cold earlier, but I can't handle Santos winning again.
I just don't think that they have enough with his storyline to keep him as a title holder. Swerve only makes sense since they've been pushing him so much. But we'll see how that goes. Now the next fight?
Yes, I think I'm guessing what the next fight is, but go for it.
For the North American Championship between Damian Priest and Johnny Gargano. CBS Sports. Did you write down your prediction yet? I don't want to say this before you
wrote down my prediction. I'm probably wrong, but I'm dying on a hill. Dying on a fucking hill.
CBS Sports said that Damian Priest will retain. I picked Johnny Gargano. because Johnny has been getting huge work lately. And I think that they're kind of pushing the whole history thing with the couple being the first couple title holders, that kind of thing. With Johnny and Candice, I think Johnny's gonna get it, and I'll tell you what I think of the next match when we get to it. But that's my reasoning for that, mostly because I want to see Johnny with the title again. What's going on?
I just made a character with my keyboard that I've never seen before.
Nice. Cool.
All right. What do you think?
So our next fight is Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae.
Okay.
Let me know when you've written down your prediction.
I have my prediction for that. I've got my prediction for the rest of the fights. We're good.
CBS Sports predicted Io Shirai will retain. And I've also picked Io Shirai.
Shit! But there's only one place we're going to lose, and I know where we're going to lose because I'm going to be the one to lose it.
I know for a fact that if anyone in the Gargano couple is going to win their title, it's going to be Johnny. Io has been too much of a focus right now to lose the title, and that also conflicts with my knowledge of the future, where Shotzi will be the new NXT Women's Champion.
Oh, Mr. Soothsayer, is that you?
Yeah, I'm a psychic in one way, and that's Shotzi. Specifically, Shotzi winning the title. I saw a vision.
Oh. All right, Raven Simone.
I've used my one vision.
God. I also picked Io just because not even because of what you've said thus far, but I don't see her losing it to Candice. I see her losing it to
Shotzi. And you can't deny it because Shotzi has been facing all of the toughest women in all of NXT. And winning, too.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Couldn't tell it was my little dimple and what was lipstick. Go on.
And what will probably be the main event of the night.
I know what you're picking for this.
Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly. CBS Sports predicted that Finn Balor will retain. I hold to myself that Finn Balor is not destined to win main event matches. He will always lose them no matter what. But I picked Finn Balor for this because it fits in with the Undisputed Era storyline. Out of anyone, Kyle will not win it because this push has been so sudden. Plus, what is it? NXT will not pass up the opportunity to have a Finn Balor Karrion Kross match, because Karrion Kross has been a lot more active on social media lately talking about NXT. But also, if Kyle wins, we never got Adam Cross. We never got Adam Cole versus Karrion Kross, which we could very, very well get if Kyle becomes the NXT champion. But I'm not backing down. I'm saying Finn Balor will take this. What's on your mind? Did you pick Karrion Kross for winning this? Oh, I've got bad news for you.
I haven't been paying attention the last few episodes.
Alyssa's just been passed out this whole time.
I take really good notes for a passed out person, but like, damn, I was not paying attention.
To be fair, you haven't showed your notes except from the other nights.
I would absolutely love nothing more than to make my notes public so that everyone could read what the fuck I.
Oh boy, I don't know if anyone wants to see that.
I think everyone will get a good chuckle out of everything I have done thus far. However, I don't think you need that opening into my mind. So here's my problem. You might know what my problem is. My problem is that I love Finn Balor with quite literally every fiber of my being. But at the same time, I love every member of Undisputed Era with every fiber of my being. So my fibers are doing quite a lot of overtime recently. And since I got to watch Finn hold the title, I decided to die on one hill, apparently. I really thought I was dying on a lot of hills, but then you agreed with 90% of the shit I was saying. So I've decided that if I'm going to take my first loss in 2 pay-per-views, I'll take it on the basis of either Kyle winning or Finn winning. I chose Kyle. Because again, back to my Drew McIntyre thing. Finn wins, awesome, happy days. I'm pleased. I'm not going to be sad about that. Kyle wins, awesome, happy days. Not going to be sad about it. One way or another, I'm going to celebrate one of them and I'm going to cry about the other. It doesn't matter. I'm going to choose the weird one.
Now, can I also tell you that Triple H absolutely hates babyface champs? Triple H loves his either cold heels as champs or ambiguous wrestlers as champs. Say Finn, Damian Priest.
He also like creeps, so
all right, well, that's not relevant. Like, Kyle.
Listen, Mark. Just take your early win right now, because you're finally getting a pay-per-view that you won, and enjoy it.
SummerSlam.
I'm sorry. The second pay-per-view that Mark has won, prediction-wise. Just figure out what you're gonna fucking do once you have the majority of the points. Figure it out, because I know it's not gonna be me. And if it is, I will never shut up about it.
So, to run it back, well, I'll just list off my winners. You list off your winners. So I picked Kushida, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Johnny Gargano, Io Shirai, and Finn Balor.
I'll have what he's having, except I chose Kyle over Finn.
So we have the same exact picks besides Kyle?
Literally do. I chose Kushida, Swerve, Johnny, Io, Kyle.
I mostly picked Johnny because I don't want to see like a night full of retainings. I want one title to transfer over.
I mean, I chose Kushida because I can't choose Dream. I chose Swerve because I'm sick and tired of seeing Santos win. I think he's ready for a loss. I chose Johnny because Damian Priest has just gotten on my last fucking nerve. I gave him like 2 days of me liking him, and now I'm done. I chose Io because I'm not a fucking idiot, and I chose Kyle because, again, we're back on the Drew McIntyre flow, where I'll drink one way or the other.
All right, well, make sure to tune in on Sunday when we have our NXT TakeOver post-show. Thank you all for watching. Liz, close us out.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, boy. Glasses are off.
Thank you for watching. Sir? Thank you, everyone, for watching. And thank you if you're watching in the future. Hopefully it's better days there. Anyways, yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you to everyone that I had the opportunity to shout out tonight. And everyone watching, if you are interested, please check out the people that I gave promos to tonight. I would not give them promos if I did not believe in what they do as people. And yeah, please tune in on Sunday for our NXT TakeOver episode. I cannot honestly believe that it has been almost 3 hours since we just decided to start doing this podcast. Crazy how that happens sometimes. Please tune in. Thank you for joining us. I'm really hungry. Take it away.
Again, thanks for watching, everybody. If you're watching on YouTube, check out the links down below for all of the promos that we talked about today. If you're watching on Twitch, hit that follow button. You'll be notified whenever we go live for our regular shows and our pay-per-view shows. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Who knows when I put up new videos? Sometimes it's like I put up one this morning. Who knows? I don't know. Follow us on Twitter at the Pinfall Cast. Remove the pod. That's the Twitter. You'll be again notified whenever we go live on there, and you'll also see our picks for Fighter and Fight of the Night on there, in case you miss an episode but still want to see. And we also talk about and retweet various wrestling stuff. We did a poll on how many titles everybody thought would be lost during Clash of Champions. Everyone was wrong. And our individual Twitters as well. I'm at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at Eliza Elaine23. And that's about it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, again, hit the follow button or subscribe button down below, and we'll see you on Sunday for NXT TakeOver 31.
Sunday.
Woo! To the moon!
He's not even in it.
I can dream. Watch, he will be there. You know what? I'm writing that down as a prediction.
Jesus Christ.
Cameron Grimes will be there.
At what point?
At any point. My prediction is that he will show up at some point. He will be on the screen at some point during NXT TakeOver 31.
And if I just say one thing in response to that?
Yes.
If you're right, you get a point, and if you're wrong, you don't get a point. It counts against you.
Okay. I will add another drink to my lineup tomorrow. But I can guarantee he will be, let me specify this. He will be on the screen at some point during the time slot of NXT TakeOver 31.
Screen. What are you talking about? Our TV screen?
Our
or the
TV
screen that's like... Okay. Did you want to make any predictions about Undisputed Era, actually, before we go?
No.
Okay.
I want to leave that alone.
I don't want to think about it, so it's fine.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Sunday.